Disclaimer here, everybody. We're not actually trying to hurt kids. We're just doing this for purely experimental purposes. Do not try this at home at all.
Halloween is a wonderful time for kids. Going door to door and getting free candy? What could be better? But we've all heard the urban legend that you need to check your candy before eating it. I wonder why that is.
Well, you see, in the mid-1950s, allegedly people were putting poison inside of candy. That later developed into people putting razor blades and other sharp objects into like apples and other fruits.
What a bunch of assholes!
They are the worst.
Luckily, no one really gives out apples at Halloween anymore. So today, we've got stuff that they do give out. We've got some treats, we've got some tricks. We're gonna see if we can tamper with some of this candy.
This one's gonna be difficult.
Now, how do I turn this into a deadly weapon? I'm gonna try to open this in a way that I can get it back closed. Back closed.
Go very slowly. These things are fragile.
If you wanna poison kids, or like if you wanna hurt kids, it takes dedication. You gotta be focused. You don't want them to know. Kids are dumb. They're not gonna notice. I could rip this open. They'll just be like, oh, candy.
Wrap this in duct tape and kids won't know.
Duct tape candy. Oh, I ripped it a little bit. That's okay. Kids are dumb. We've established this. That's why we're giving them razor blade candy.
I mean, we don't really want to hurt kids.
This is not a confession. Don't bring this up in court. See, first you dig the hole. First you dig the trench, and then you put the push pin in the trench, and then you just cover it up. Perfectly reasonable Reese's. You know what they say? There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
Overall, I mean, if the kid was just really quick, opening candies, eating it, possibly could happen here.
You see, the tough part about the push pin is hiding the actual push part of it.
Yeah, if you were just to break this off and put just this part in there, that might do some damage there, because you would not be able to see this at all. Moving on here. This next one is one that I did here. We put one of these smaller flat razors inside of this. From the top, you can't tell anything's amiss. On the side here, unfortunately, you can tell.
Or fortunately.
Fortunately, you can tell there's a bit of foul play here. Couldn't push it in all the way, but I mean, I know when I was a kid, I'd always just grab them, put this whole thing in my mouth like this, and just push it up there. Didn't check anything, I was just good to go. No foul play.
Alright, now we got these larger razors, these kind of rhombus guys, and as you can see, they don't actually fit inside of the Reese's peanut butter cup, but if you put one through, gives it some nice ears, you carve a little face in there, you got a spooky little guy. He's a spooky little treat. And kids might think like, oh no, these are some sort of special edition Reese's. Nope, fucking blades, kid. And finally, we have this thing. We have this stupid thing. I feel like they might notice this one.
Be it obvious.
So the test of hiding blades in Reese's peanut butter cups. What's the conclusion? What is the best blade to hide in Reese's? It's probably this one.
No. I'm gonna go with not that one. That one looks delicious. Mmm.
See, totally safe.
Very sharp.
Totally safe.
But no, in conclusion, honestly, these flat, kind of straight razors, best one by far. They fit perfectly inside of the Reese's peanut butter cup. And from the top point, you're not noticing much going on. This one, obviously, you have your little dig out hole. This one, you got your goblin ears. This one, nothing but happiness and sadness on the inside.
You heard it here first. All right, let's continue on with Airheads. Now we have push pins. I actually have two different varieties of push pin tampering you can do here. The first is probably a little more viable. You basically wrap the Airhead around the push pin, and if you use the orange one, it actually makes it look like a nice little carrot. So you can actually trick the parents by making them think that it's healthy. They're not gonna check this, it's a carrot. Why would they care? They're just gonna be like, oh, look, a nice healthy snack. Go ahead, eat it up, kids. No, it's got fucking push pins in it. Don't eat that. Also, if you do this with orange Airheads without the push pins, fun party trick, just put them out with a cup of ranch. And then we have our alternative version, which is a little more obvious. I really don't have much to say about this, you know. This might actually look like a child's tongue after they eat a bunch of these. So, not much to say there.
Alright, so here's our Airhead razor blades. We have this watermelon one with one of these other, you know, box cutter razor blades in it. You can't tell anything's, you know, gone. I just opened up the end here a little bit, slid it in, close it up. It's one of those things that, you know, someone wouldn't really notice if they were looking through candy pretty fast to see if there's any tampered. You know, kid gets it in their room, they're like, oh man, ow! Actually, that hurt, ow. So yeah, instantly, the kid tries to open it, they hurt themselves because it pokes through because that big sharp end. That's awful. Don't give that to your kids. Next we have our blue raspberry Airhead with the straight razors here. This one I tried to actually open up the whole package, completely lay it out, and then just plop it in there. Gives you a lot messier look, and this one's pretty easy to determine that it was tampered with. But you got it in here. Let me just. Kids like, oh man, whoa, shiny things, delicious, and then they just eat the razor blade, and then there's hospital visits. So, beautiful.
All right, now here we're gonna move on to our last item. Now you might say, no, you didn't tamper with this at all. This looks like a completely normal Airhead, and this actually pleases the kids because they're like, holy shit, king-size candy, like whoa! But you'll notice if I move one of these, there's a steak knife in there. Kids will never know. They're just like, ah, no, it's full of knives.
As you can see here, we have several options for hiding sharp objects inside of candy.
Now, some, if not all of these, are going to be much more noticeable than putting them within apples. So what have we learned today?
Well, the straight razor is probably the most viable for hiding away.
But remember, we're not going to give these out on Halloween, and you shouldn't either. So don't try this at home.
Or else.
Wapow!